It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. There's a reason rappers can turn any story into a hit track. Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm with over 1,000 attorneys and more than 100 offices nationwide. If you've been seriously injured in an accident, your case could be worth millions. But the truth is, a lot of people either don't file at all or get taken advantage of by insurance companies. When you hire Morgan & Morgan, it's like hiring a legal army that has your back. If you're injured because of someone else's negligence, you deserve to be paid. No shortcuts, no lowball offers. In fact, they've secured some major verdicts in the past. For example, in Florida, they got a victim who was in a life-altering car crash, $12 million. 34 times the highest insurance offer. They got another victim in Philadelphia, $26 million. 40 times the highest insurance offer. Not all law firms are created equal. Morgan & Morgan is the biggest for a reason. They will fight for the biggest award possible and have won a lot. So if you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless you win. That's right, no upfront costs. They only get paid if you get paid. You can start your claim now by clicking the link in the description or by scanning the QR code on screen from your phone's camera. Again, if you find yourself injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Don't say I never told you nothing, man. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there this evening. In this video, we're going to be getting into Pharrell Williams and his DEI comments, which came out just a couple weeks ago, and the doubling down after facing backlash and criticism from the people. All right? Now, what's interesting to me about this whole situation is, Pharrell has been this person all along. It was maybe 10 years ago, Pharrell came out with his All Lives Matter type rhetoric as it pertained to, I believe it was the Mike Brown situation out in Ferguson, right? When he was gunned down by police, Pharrell came out and made a statement saying that we need to talk about the bullyish behavior that he exhibited in the store before his life was brutally taken by police. This is the same Pharrell that said that over a decade ago, right? So now we have him coming out and saying he's not for DEI, right? Because what Pharrell seems to not believe in is kind of race-based ideology, right? He doesn't believe that people are disparaged solely on race or treated unfairly solely because of their race, or that just because you're the same race as me or because you're black, you should be given extra opportunity, or you know what I'm saying? Some shit along those lines. Dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially as a man that comes from one of the most racist fucking states in America, Virginia. Very interesting, immensely talented. I do think that he does have a certain level of intelligence in other areas. He definitely exhibits signs of genius as it pertains to musical creativity, but that about it, right? And I hate that he came out and did this because there's so much that's been swept under the rug with Pharrell because of his talent and his musical output. And that talent and musical output was put in the forefront this year as he produced the Clipse with Let God Sort 'Em Out. Masterful work production-wise. I wasn't the craziest about his hooks on there. I was very vocal about me not really liking the vocal hooks from Pharrell. Some people disagreed with me. I said it felt like it lacked soul. I know what Pharrell sounds like when he really on his shit. I didn't get that vibe. I didn't get Hustler Baby. I just want you to know. I felt like it was something missing. There's a grit in his voice that was missing. And as statements like what we're talking about are coming out, I feel justified in that position, right? Love that album. Still play that album. So there's no shade there, but we gotta be honest about what's in front of us. So a couple weeks ago, he went viral for this interview where he states that he hates politics and doesn't believe in either side, calls it a magic trick and not real, and says he does not want DEI. All right. I didn't address it when it first came out. I figured it would be kind of like, but now I thought honestly he would either leave it alone or, come out and say he was wrong. No, he didn't. So here's the original.
As we look at what's going on in the current political climate, I'm just saying I don't want to turn anybody off, but I hate politics. Like, despise them. It's a magic trick that it's not real. I don't believe in either side. So I think when you pick a side, you are inadvertently supporting division. Yeah, it's not a popular point of view, but I just got to say, think about it. The wells are drying up, and okay, now the diversity's off the table, now equity's off the table, now inclusion's off the table. So that makes me ask myself, okay, so how do we survive? Well, are there black people here tonight? Yeah. And in your heart, do you think for what it is that you do and who you are, do you think you're the best? Okay, so do you want the job because you're black or because you're the best? The best. Do you want someone to support your startup because you're black or because you're the best? Yes. Right, so I think now for me it's about us having the best ambition. That's the reason why you should support these businesses. Yes, they have to be black and brown, but it should be based on the thesis that we're the best, not because we are a total shade of a skin color. That's a point of view that I have now that I'm resting on, and if diversity, equity, and inclusion ever comes back in style, cool. But in the meantime, I'm going to focus on being the best because I can bank on that, because that's what's going to get you the position. Where, I don't want you to give me anything. I want you to panic and not let me out the room because I'm the best.
All right, so that's Pharrell's statement that went viral. Now, on the surface, I can understand where he's coming from. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be given something just because I'm black. I don't want you to look at me like I'm inferior and that I need a handout because I am black. I want to earn my keep because I am the best. The problem with that way of thinking is that we've been the best, nigga. What are you talking about? DJ Khaled, nigga, we been the best. Are you crazy? That's why programs were started, because the best were being overlooked. The most qualified people for the jobs were being overlooked. Therefore, somebody had to come in and say, hey, let's create some fucking ways to not overlook these people that are highly educated, highly qualified, highly skilled, that have been usurped out of opportunity simply because people see their name on the paperwork and say, I don't think this is the type of person I want in this position. Or when you come and interview and they say, oh, I wasn't able to assume who you were by your name, but now that I see you, I don't want you being around in this facility. Don't trust you. You've done a great job, but I'm sure you'll find a job elsewhere. Pharrell, people like yourself are so disconnected from fucking real ground level life that you shouldn't even be speaking on these types of matters, because you are Pharrell. That's what people know you for, whether you're the best or not. Let's be clear, my nigga. Before Let God Sort 'Em Out came out, niggas was questioning your abilities to even make beats for the last 10 years. Are we living in the same world? I know I have videos before the album came out where I said this very thing. I said, yo, Pharrell beats ain't been hitting like that. I really hope he can encapsulate and embody the sound of the Clipse the way they did on Hell Hath No Fury. It's been a long time since he's been in that mode, and he delivered. But those were valid questions that were out there because the production that he had put out on his own projects and others was lackluster. So whether or not you were the best, people still were working with you because you're Pharrell Williams and you've been a fucking superstar for 20 years. So whether or not you were the best, you've already made a space for yourself where you're respected. You're at Louis Vuitton. You're at Adidas. Not because you're the best designer. Some of the shit you put out ain't even all that great. The motherfucking Adidas shoes ain't nothing but remade Adidas that have existed for 40 years. And you say, well, let's change this and change that and make it orange. That ain't a new fucking shoe. You're at Louis Vuitton, pretty much. You are the DEI. Nigga, you the one black nigga up that bitch. What are you talking about? Are we living in the same world? And I think it's really crazy because the discussion we should be having about Pharrell in December of 2025 is producer of the year. You know what I'm saying? Man, what great work that nigga did on this album. And instead of having that conversation, we're talking about your weird ass political views or whatever you think is political, because it's not even political. So as people called him out, rightfully so, for his comments, and again, I understand the train of thought that creates that idea, but again, so separated from the things that everybody else goes through, because you get to go through life off of name and facial recognition. Every room you walk into, people bowing at your feet, sucking your because of who you are and what you've done. It's totally different than everybody else starting from square one.
Sound like this. Since most people don't like to read or do research anymore, sound like this. God is the greatest. Sound like this. I'm from Virginia. Sound like this. You don't know what I know. You ain't seen what I saw. No. You ain't been where I go. I'm from the mud.
Try to put that stove god line in there to try to goddamn loosen the blow. I fuck with you, Pharrell. I ain't trying to cancel you, bro. But we gotta be real about this shit. Stop it.
As a child, nobody's been evicted more times than me. Lights turned off, water turned off, and at times had to pump the water. And I didn't have a name brand sneaker until I was 16, when I could afford them for my first paycheck from McDonald's. Sound like this. They were Adidas, low top, Instincts, the ones with the Laker colors. Sound like this. Don't be fooled by my bourgeois taste and heart. I'm proletariat. In fact, I'm lumpen proletariat. Sound like this. I had to stay on my feet. Sound like this. But I could never walk in the shoes of my parents, etc. All they had to endure while staying on their feet. Or my ancestors who arrived as captives, enslaved, who had no shoes, yet had to stay on their feet.
Yo, Pharrell, respectfully, you ever question why you were evicted so many times? I'm sure it wasn't because your mom wasn't the best or your parents weren't the best at what they were doing, or at least good enough to have a respectable income in the house. I'm quite sure it wasn't because of that. I'm sure it was lack of opportunity for whatever educational level they were at. I'm sure they could perform higher than what they were projected, but they weren't given the opportunities.
As they landed on the shores of Virginia. As black and brown people on this earth, we have to stay on our feet. We have never had a choice. Sound like this. We've needed empathy for someone to walk in our shoes. That's why, sound like this. We created Black Ambition, a philanthropic effort to support, resource, and mentor black and brown startups. Sound like this. We have allocated $85 million.
Awesome.
To black and brown startups. Sound like this. That's where the soundbite of me saying I hate politics, which was in response to the DEI support and donations drying up because of new policies. So yes, I got frustrated, and the soundbiters, they caught me lacking. But sound like this. I will never stop fighting.
I will never stop raising money to help level the playing field. Never. And soundbite this. Don't be a slave to the algorithm. Be the master of your reality. Be the master of the algorithm. You think it only sends you ads when you start thinking and talking about a subject or something specific? No, guys. It's informing your opinion as well. So soundbite this. At least a couple times a day, put down your phone and think on your own. My Adidas family, where we have a wonderful partnership. To Bjorn, to Torben, Nasser, Jimmy, Joe, the design team. It's been an incredible year. I thank you so much for your time, spent time and space. My brother Curtains as well. And I hope you guys are having a good time tonight. I feel incredibly grateful. I'm a little black boy from Virginia. Thank you guys so much.
Shout out to Curtains. Haven't heard that name in a long time, but I do know he is still associated with Pusha T. Clearly, Pharrell just shouted him out. If you don't know who the rapper Curtains is, go back to Live Again by Curtains, Kendrick Lamar, Schoolboy Q. Always wondered what happened to him. Seems like he became more entrenched into the fashion world. Congratulations to Pharrell on this FNAA Achievement Award for the sneaker and all that stuff too. Again, I'm not here to completely shit on Pharrell or discredit Pharrell. Just saying, hey man, you could have done better. You know what I'm saying? In terms of what you was talking about. And when you start getting into all this apolitical, anti-racial bullshit, you know, it does you no favors. It does you no service. You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of these things. Now, of course, the likelihood of Pharrell seeing this video and, you know, thinking further about the situation, very low. But I just feel on my platform, you know what I'm saying? I call out people all the time, and I got to sometimes call out the people that I fuck with and I'm fans of as well. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Just being real. Got to be honest. Didn't like that shit. You know what I mean? And then to kind of antagonize the situation and be like, soundbite this, soundbite this, soundbite this, soundbite this. It's like, bro, you didn't have to do that. You really didn't have to do that. You could have just gave the speech and thanked the motherfuckers for giving you the award, shouting out Adidas family, shouting out your shoe, and keeping that shit moving. But to act like people are soundbiting you to, I guess, make you look bad, rather than you making yourself look bad by speaking on things that maybe you don't have the information on or the ability to elaborate on, that was you. Pretty simple, you know? Focus on your art, you know what I mean? But let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, Become an Insider, and I will catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be good out there. Much love and respect. Peace.
Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'll never politic and the drama be piling on. Father and greats unacknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I can do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I'll turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I read for filth. The sympathy calls, consulting for the stacks I built. I had to